Hi, I'm Sherold Barr, and I want to talk to you today about thoughts and how our thoughts create our reality. Many of you know that I'm a facilitator in the work of Byron Katie in the Institute. Katie has a very powerful form of inquiry. The work is a model that you can learn. It's simple, it's 4 questions and a turnaround, and you use that when you have a thought that's causing you to suffer. And suffering I define as worry, anger, angst, stress, frustration, sadness, depression, anything on that side of the scale that is a negative emotion. That is when you would take that thought and put it up against these 4 questions and turn it around and look at the opposite to see what might be just as true or even truer than that thought you're believing. So first off, let's talk about thought model. Katie calls this the order of creation. Thoughts are going to lead you to feel a certain way. When you think a thought, and it could be a thought that my husband doesn't appreciate me, and when you think that thought, you don't feel good. You feel sad. And then that thought and that feeling are going to drive you to a certain action. And that's going to lead to a result. I want to give you an example of a client that I had. She had had a performance evaluation at work, and it wasn't positive. It looked like, to me, she was going to be fired. So I asked her, when she goes into work, what is she thinking about? And she felt that the office manager looked at her as if she could do no right. She went into work, and that, because she had that thought, she tried to avoid interactions, and that just made her much more of a target. The outcome was the same, just the same as what she got the performance evaluation on. I talked to her about her value and what she contributed to that practice. She was a valuable person there. I'm valuable at work was her thought. So we walked that through, and I said, how do you feel when you think that thought? How you feel is the litmus test. It has to feel good, or throw that thought out and find another one. She felt good when she thought, I'm valuable at work. Then I asked her, what would her actions be? Like, how would that manifest? That thought, the feeling, she's feeling good. She said she would be engaged. And I asked, what result would you have from this? She felt good. She felt that they would see that she was trying and she was willingly wanting to keep her job. It just took one session, and she got it. I heard next that within the month, the doctor in charge of the practice said, I have never seen anyone do a turnaround so fast as you. It was simply just the awareness of Katie's model. We tend to believe it's external circumstances or people that cause us to be unhappy. It's our thoughts about the circumstances, people, and situations that cause us to suffer. It's not the situation. It's not the economy. So why do we believe that we are our thoughts? We have our left hemisphere in our brain is our storyteller, and it's the interpreter. It's the ego center. This left hemisphere it fills in stories. It fills in gaps. The way we're wired is that we might have one tiny piece of information, and then our brains can fill it in and jump to conclusion. What happens is we end up believing that as fact when it's not true at all. This is convincing me day in and day out about myself, and I can choose to believe it or not. And one way to do it is the Eckhart Tolle way. It's being in the moment. It's being in the now. There is only the now, and most of the time we spend our time in the future and in the past, and we're suffering. How do you observe your thoughts? You observe your thoughts by noticing how you're feeling is one way. I'm a feeling type, so for me that's the easy way. I find areas in my body, it might be my sternum or my kind of solar plexus, my stomach area, it might be tense and tight. So if that happens, I can say, what am I thinking? And I can go to finding, just going back and trying to unravel that and think, what am I thinking about? And if you're a thinking type, you might be easily able to just, I was thinking something negative about yourself. This is how you become mindful. You observe your thoughts, you let them come, well, at monkey chatter, And you just notice them. You don't have to attach. Just watch them go by and don't resist them. Also, Eckhart talks about how this creates a real spaciousness in our life. That's so true. The spaciousness that I think he talks about is that quiet inside. It's where the chatter stops and you're not just going 100 miles an hour in your head and your thoughts. So that's it for today. That's Thoughts 101, and I'm going to continue to do vlogs on thought work and other subjects. I'd love to hear from you. Thanks, everybody.